So KvK is about to start. This could be one of the biggest KvK we've ever seen for my channel. And today I'm going to show you everything that I have saved up in about a month since my last KvK for pushing power on this KvK. As a medium-ish spender, I don't spend that much money in the game, but I buy, the weekly packs, the daily packs and stuff on a regular basis, as I am about, rank 40-ish in the power of my server. But I still have managed to save a lot of stuff this time because I didn't spend everything on the last KvK either. Now, as a general reminder, in this game, on the very beginning with Amadeus on the Hall of Governor and Strongest Governor and stuff, it is worth pushing for him because he's very, very strong. But afterwards, there is really little amount of pushing needed that you should be doing in terms of like any other event and Strongest Governor, unless you're really a strong well with endless spending. So events like this, Armament Competition or stuff like that, all the power that's pushed here is, mostly wasted. The rewards are okay, they're not bad at all, but the amount of power pushed is way more costly than the rewards you're getting, so the trade-off is really not that good. But the bare minimum here per event, where you get the last line of rewards, which are very valuable, like you see, I pushed 60,000 by doing very little. That's, bare minimum. Once you're done, don't push anything else, save everything else for KvK. Same for stuff like Alliance Mobilization and stuff. It's not worth using too much on, because KvK, while you're not going to get a massive amount of personal rewards every time, you still are going to get a very decent amount, but it is for your server and winning prep. And winning prep is one of the most important thing in KvK. Of course, winning it all is best, but winning prep means you will invade the enemy kingdom. If you invade the enemy kingdom, this means that even if you lose, you keep your castle, you don't have to share your buffs, and that is, very important. As well as invading means that you're not getting attacked in your server, so better for everybody, less zeroing happening, even though it still happens both sides because KvK is the way it is. And on top of that, there's also, a lot of really good rewards for every phase, which are, decent enough, but also the general rewards, and they also give you the hero of the season. Now, for most people who are not big spenders, you could think about skipping a KvK and pushing every 2 KvK, or once you see your servers winning, you might stop pushing and save for the next one. There are a few events here and there worth pushing, but in general, KvK is the best amount of value got. Now, looking at my backpack, I have a ton of gems. Now, some of them come from buying packs, for sure, but a lot of them also come from Alliance reward, which highlights how important it is to be in a strong alliance with many people who spend and do loot chests and stuff. So the loot chests, there's very little rewards, but they're very small, but you get 500 per day, and that's hours of speed up and millions of resource per week. So it's still definitely worth it. Alliance gift is when people purchase stuff in your alliance. So you can see that there's different levels, 4, 5, and 5 is the one that costs $100 US. But you see that if you have people in your alliance who are spending these amount of monies and you are getting these packs, well, I'm getting a 3-hour speed up here. This one I'm getting 106 gems. This one I'm getting 8 minutes of speed up. And 534 gem here for this level 5. Thank you, True. So you can see, like, there is a lot of really good reward. Like, just here I got 1,000 gem just for being in his alliance. Now, he is a Kraken who spends a lot, so it is lucky for me to be in his alliance. But it's also kind of highlighting that when you are on a server and you have multiple alliances, when I see some servers with like 6 alliances all spread around, you're wasting a lot of rewards for everybody. You want to have your top 200 players in the top 2 alliance. You can split them up a little bit more, and during KvK you can move around, but in general, you want more condensed alliance with every member that's active, every spender spent together, so that everybody gets way more rewards. And I mean, that's my opinion, but if you look at my backpack and the amount of gems that are here, like I have 460,000 now. I'm going to use this all, and that's going to be, a few 100,000, and there I am, 671,000. So, of course, as I said, some of it is from spending. Like, there are some packs that give gems too. Now, just for fun, I'm also going to open these Truegold, and ooh, wow, 100. That's very, very good chance. Like, the ratios are very bad. Like, this was a 1.5% chance. So, you'll see that most of them are going to be 5 and 10, and, 10, 10. To be honest, so far, I've gotten mostly 10s and 20s. It was really not that bad, my luck there. Now, this one is in the same world. As you can see, it's going to be mostly 5s. But let's see, how many we get. Maybe I'm going to go a bit faster with these ones because, it's boring. But 155. So I have 4,700 true gold saved up for pushing to TG5. Now, looking at my resources, you can see that I also have billions of resources saved up. I won't need it all, but for training troops and upgrading buildings, this is going to come handy. It is very expensive, and it's very important to farm for that reason. Now, speed up wise, I spent all my speed ups on the last KvK, so now we can see this is how much I've saved up. So 122 days of general speed ups, 25 of soldier, and then construction 37, and research 12. Now, learning speed ups that are new, and soldiers healing speed up you're not going to use. This is more for KvK, but not really because of batch healing. It's more for swordland in my opinion, but learning speed ups, those are very important now with masters, but not that important because if you're saving for KvK, you are gonna able to, spend hours and hours and days of learning points. You don't really need to spend the speed ups. Like, you can spend those speed ups fine, but you wouldn't use general speed ups for that. You could, but I mean, I personally don't really seem to need. I run out of the other materials before. Construction speed ups, I don't also want. Going to TG5 troops is important, but after that, I don't think I would use general here. General speed ups, really, I would use on research first to get the research as high as possible, and the rest will be on training for myself because I'm lacking troops after transferring. But I would say most of the time, general speed ups will be go for TG troops, the next level of TG troops you can get as fast as you can, because TG troops as a joiner has a big impact on your account and on the rally you're joining. And then research, in my opinion, is going to be the best spent for quite a long time for most people. Now, bonuses, now, I mean, this is nothing too crazy. It's a lot of buffs. I get them from, different packs and different stuff, like the fishing event, for example. And my gear, you can see I have 3 sets of gear, and I'm getting some more red ones. So you will see in the others here how much I have saved up. Now, here is where my prize is. I have really not opened any chests for quite some time. So, these ones are pretty general. It's good amounts. And these ones are the same. Now, these ones, the Lucky Hero gear chest, are pretty interesting because the chance of getting a orange item is about, like 1%, I think, if you add them all up. People are saying if you open 100 at a time, it should give you a better odd. I really don't think that is true in terms of like maths. However, let's try it. I'm going to open 100. I got 1 legendary. Let's open another 100 and no, yeah, I got an orange there again. So, I mean, so far, it's true. Another 100, another orange gear. So, I mean, this is the odds. It's supposed to be 1%. I am getting 1%. So, that is good. Let's open 94. Okay. So, I got 3. So, as you can see, the RNG is king in this game. I'm not going to complain about this at all. This is great. But, I mean, the strategy seems to work. Maybe it's just because I'm making a video. However, you decide for yourself. Mobilization chests. These are very good from Alliance Mobilization. Though it's not that much rewards, but the rewards are good. And I got 1 more of these. Let's prop it. These guys, Challenger Pouch. This is from, the killing the monsters on the map and stuff. So, again, another source of gems. A lot of gems here and a lot of speed ups and a lot of stamina. The XP I don't really need anymore, but, it's very valuable. So, Trial Chest. That's from the Mystic Trials. 394. And you can see that this one is good because of the Court of Knowledge item. So, let's see. Pretty decent. Again, a lot of speed ups again, and 5 of these is very nice for me. And then these guys now, 17 of these and thousands of gems, 10 of these, a lot of XP here. So again, this is stuff that you're going to collect visually playing the game. It's not like doing anything special, but it's nice to see. 85 Badland treasures. These are pretty low rewards. I'll take it, but there's nothing too crazy. Now here's where it gets interesting. Reserve chest. This is from Pan's perk. Pan the Master gives you a perk when you gather every day. You have to gather all the time because you are going to get these chests. And you can see I have 572 in a month. My pan is pretty close to being maxed, the skill that gives this. But it is, I think it's his passive anyways. But you do want to level pan for this reason. It's, I think, one of the highest investment master you can do. 572. Let's see what I get from that. So a decent amount of gems. 177 true gold. That is massive. There's a decent amount of gems and everything, but the true gold is really, really good for a passive of a master. This highlights why it's so important to level pan for anyone who's not a huge spender, even if you are a spender. Now, the other master, the Arena Star Chest. So this is going to be Roman's ones, and I got 150 because you get less of them. You get them from Daily Arena, but again, let's see how good these are. And I mean, they're very decent, very gear oriented. 5 tokens, 9 Forge Hammer, a lot of experience, a few speed ups. So masters, again, the passive skills they give, you can see how much it adds up for 1 KvK. Now, moving on down here, you'll see I have 91 of these pet advancement. Now, I'm not going to use them now. I'm going to use them as I level up my pets during KvK prep, which I'm going to make a video about, so you should check it out. But this is going to be used on demand when I need it for a pet, not preemptively. Same thing goes for the widget. Of course, I am going to use these for the Fates Writ. This is for Petra. So this is going to be for my Petra widget, and this is going to be for this one, for my Marlin widget. Amadeus is max already, so I don't have any widgets for him. Now I have these shards. I always try to keep one for fun. I'm going to get Jaeger because I want to give him 4-star, but I keep one just for fun. I also have 6 of these chests. This is going to give me orange gear to upgrade my gear to red level. Again, I'm going to use it on the request, but it doesn't matter. You could use it all on like random gear right now because all my heroes have orange gear. War Chant, that's from a really good event as well, the Call of the Sovereign, and this gives huge amount of stuff. And it's very, very good value. But again, I'm going to use it when I need it. If I'm pushing and I'm missing 5 Forge Hammers, I'm going to use it here. And I would recommend you save them for these little pushes when you're missing just a little bit to get to the next level, because it makes a big difference. Now, skipping to a lot of other stuff. Keys, as I said in my other videos, which I recommend you watch, I'm saving them all until G4 and even G5 comes out, because then new heroes appear on the golden keys. So I don't have any reason to use my keys now for Jable and have her maxed. But when the new heroes come in, I'm going to start using them. So save your keys and watch my other videos if you want to know why. Now, all these temporary skins, they're good to activate during KvK, especially if you're a rally leader or a garrison leader, because they give, they're temporary, but they give the bonus for 14 days or 3 days, you know, whatever. This one is just for fun, but this one's still the 2%. This one's also the 2%. So I'm keeping them for a day where it's going to be really needed. Now, masters, you can see that I have 400 of these guys, well, 500 almost. A lot of these. This is going to give me a lot of stuff for my masters to level them up. So you'll see here, you know, like I have all of these masters ready to research. Like I have spent a lot of time getting these points. As you can see, I have way more than I need of the XP because I've been using it over time. But now I need to upgrade the skills using these tomes. And then I'm going to also need to upgrade the heroes themselves with the gifts here. And then once I level them up with the gift, which, you know, I can just do right now just to show you, because it doesn't matter, like that's not counting in the KvK, then I can advance them with these tokens, which I have 481 of. So I mean, this is going to be very good for me. And depending on the kind of player you are, of course, as a well or as a free-to-play, you're going to spend on different things. Pan being the best for free-to-play, and Cassia being the best for Wells and Kraken, and then Valora being the best for everybody just to get the extra bear stuff. So, you know, and there's going to be more released in the future, as well as these supplies I'm keeping for new masters. When they get released, I'm going to use them to get the master unlocked immediately. Now, going into the next stuff, pets on top of the other one I showed earlier, like this is what I have. So nothing too crazy for pets. I'm keeping these ones until my pets are in the purple, because it gets much harder to level them up after they're out of the blue and the green. These ones are best for blue and green, so don't waste these ones to level up pets early on. But I'm going to make more videos on pets in the future. Now, next we have the charm design. So I'm going to level up my charms using the optimizers to know what's best, really, which I recommend you guys do, or ask someone who knows better otherwise. And then all of the governor gear stuff, I'm also ready to level up all my governor gear to orange and higher. I have 10 mithril. This is one of the hardest resources to get in the game, even as a spender. It's really, really hard, and this is for red gear. So I have a lot of forge hammers to get some gear up, but I'm going to probably run out of mithril first. And a lot of this XP stuff. Now, you don't have to wait for KvK for the XP because it doesn't give you any points, but I like to do it all at once anyways to see my power jump up. Now, saving the best for last, I have 1,500 mythic general shards, which I call sometimes universal shards as well. This is universal because you can use it for any hero. And then these are going to be 4 G4 heroes, which are coming in about a month and some time for myself. So I'm going to keep them until then. My Petra, I have enough to max her. I'm just waiting for KvK to start because all of this gives points. So that's about it for the overview of that. As I said, there is, you know, a lot of different things. Research is going to be a big focus, and Truegold 5. You can see I just did this one for one of the event. I just started the first level of it, and it's going to end up during KvK. I'm going to finish it for the minutes, but I don't want to do anything else. I have nothing else higher than this with Truegold being spent at all. Most of your Truegold should be saved for KvK day 1. That's where you get most of your points. Now, getting Truegold soldiers to level 5 will be my priority because when you're a joiner of a rally, your troops at TG levels are the best thing you can bring. So if I bring TG 3 archers versus TG 5 archers, well, the whale is going to use my TG5 archers as part of their rally, and it's going to be better. So this is the biggest impact you can have. What you can do as a joiner, your hero gear doesn't matter. Only the top right skill matters here. Everything else doesn't really matter. All of this stuff doesn't matter. The widgets don't matter at all when you're joining, and so on. Pets don't matter much. Like, there is very, very little things that matter when you join someone else's rally, but TG troops is one of them. So that's one thing to really focus on for leveling during KvK, during the first days when Truegold gives you points. The last thing I want to mention is stamina. Now, there is nothing really stamina related in KvK. There are events that ask you for stamina, but you should save your stamina for the event after KvK. It is an event called Alliance Brawl, and in that event, there are going to be days where using these and killing the monsters on the map will give you a lot of points, and that is an event that benefits your whole alliance. So this is why I would keep those for. Of course, you can use some here and there, and they can be used with gems or bought with gems, but just something in keep in mind, that is what I'm saving mine for. So that's about it for my video. As you can see, I had saved a lot. Now I still have a lot saved up, which I am going to use in my KvK, which is going to start very shortly. So stay tuned for my next videos on that, as well as the amount of power that I am going to push. Let me know in the comments how much power you think I can push with everything that I have just shown you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.